All right, and for more, we bring in our good friend of the show, Daniel Halper, contributing editor at the Washington Free Beacon, author of the book Clinton, Inc. Great to see you, my friend.
Great to be here.
All right, so this brings up so many questions. Peggy Noonan points out some pretty tough things about the president, but it brings up an important question. Does General Kelly now have a hunting license to bring some discipline to what everyone can agree is a chaotic West Wing?
Well, we know that General Kelly is a disciplined man, and we would assume that he would get that promise before taking the office, before taking the chief of staff's office.
The president's been trying to get him to do this for a while.
But these are all assumptions, and we don't actually know. It's going to take several weeks, I think, before we figure out how this new structure works in the White House and whether we see it, whether it changes the White House and whether there are actually results. But it's been very clear up till this point that that there haven't been good results up to this point. Healthcare, I think, was a big disaster. There hasn't been legislative achievements. One of the reasons Reince Priebus was brought in was so that there would be, because he was thought to have good relations with Republicans on the Hill. So things haven't been working out well. You can't just blame it on the Hill, and perhaps it's time to try something new.
All right. Well, so fair to say that the president isn't going to change his ways. I think everybody's pretty much agreed on that. The question is, can Kelly change things? Anthony Scaramucci, who was brought in about a week ago, has talked so much about leaks. The president has talked about leaks. Scaramucci, in a, shall we say, colorful conversation with the New Yorker magazine, said that he felt as though he had found the leaker in Reince Priebus, and now the leaker is out. Does that mean the leaks stop?
Probably not. I mean, there's been so many leaks that I don't think you can isolate them to a single person, and probably not just to Reince Priebus. They are systemic. They are so widespread that I'm not sure that you can get rid of them just by firing one person. All
right, family-friendly broadcast, so we can't repeat what Mr. Scaramucci had to say about either Mr. Priebus or Mr. Steve Bannon, but shall we say they were choice words. Priebus is now gone just a week after Scaramucci comes in. Is Bannon next?
Well, the New York Times is reporting today that he might be, that the president has considered getting rid of him. And obviously, if Scaramucci is on the up and Scaramucci is speaking in some sense on behalf of the president, you would think that Bannon's job might be endangered. We don't know that, but it seems likely. I think one of the strange things about all of this is that when President Trump won the White House in many ways by bucking the Republican establishment, and yet when he won, he brought the Republican establishment with him. He brought Reince Priebus, he brought Sean Spicer, he empowered Speaker Paul Ryan to stay on as Speaker. I think if he had given him a kick in the shin at that moment, Speaker Paul Ryan might have fallen, and they might have been able to have new leadership. And yet it was very different than how he ran the campaign. Now we're seeing more people coming in that are so-called loyalists, with the exception of John Kelly, the chief of staff.
These loyalists aren't necessarily establishment Republicans, but more sort of an independent party look.
Which is how Trump promised and how he ran the campaign. He said he was going to bring in a new way of looking at Washington, and these are new people who are not, you know, Kelly's a little more complex, but are not of Washington ways. And perhaps this is returning to the campaign promise that Trump was so successful on running on.
Kellyanne Conway, we don't have time for the soundbite, but essentially she said, we've accomplished so much in the past 6 months, is the exit interview for Reince Priebus. If you've accomplished so much, why do you need a reset?
Yeah, I think that's slightly disingenuous. I think there have been accomplishments, clearly. There have been executive orders, but I don't think it's been what has been promised. What has been promised was repeal and replace with Obamacare.
Just some executive orders, real quickly. John Kelly was the Secretary of DHS when the travel ban came out. That didn't work so well either round one or round two. Does he bring something different to the West Wing?
I think he brings years of experience in the military, and I think that some sort of military precision could help the West Wing get in shape.
As Mr. Trump would say, one of my generals, and he is now, I think the headline I saw was the West Wing general, so we will see what he brings to the West Wing. Daniel, good to see you as always.
Thank you.